Wonder Trades. Without a doubt, one of the most fun additions in recent Pokemon games. First introduced to the series in X and Y, a Wonder Trade is where you send a Pokemon out into the world and get connected with a random stranger who could give you anything. You could get a legendary, a shiny, a Route 1 Pokemon. It's mostly Route 1 Pokemon. But it could be a legendary. It's the mystery. I haven't done Wonder Trades in a really long time, so I thought if I'm gonna do them again, I'm gonna go big. We're gonna do 1,000 trades. I have to get something good from that many trades, right? Thing is, no one game can even store that many Pokemon. So we're trying our chances in multiple games and seeing what happens. Who knows how much longer the 3DS servers are gonna run, so I might as well do this while I still can. So that means between my Omega Ruby, Ultra Moon, and Sword, I'm gonna need 333 Pokemon for each game. I'll give the extra one to Sword. But what Pokemon am I gonna be using for this? The answer to me was simple from the start. Magnemite. But why Magnemite? Okay, so strap in, I'ma give you a Pokemon history lesson. So do you remember Join Avenue from Black and White 2? This is going somewhere, I swear. So in order to build up your Join Avenue, you had to make connections with other players. So battles, trades, and so on. And the online community needed a quick and fast way to make their Join Avenue bussin'. And thus something called Magnemite coiling was born. This is where someone would put a Magnemite on the GTS, ask for a Magnemite in return, and boom, both players get an easy trade and get to build their Join Avenue. In 2012, 14-year-old Lucy caught wind of this, and with my freshly made YouTube channel created 2 weeks after Black and White 2 came out, I saw this as the perfect opportunity to build my Join Avenue and promote myself. I named each Magnemite YT CandyEvie and sent them off into the world. I'd say I'm embarrassed, but in truth I was way ahead of the game. I mean, evidently it worked. Look at me now! But I realised that if I'm ever gonna get a gold play button, then clearly I need to ramp my efforts up. I need to go back to the basics. So we're doing the self-promotion Magnemite again. So we gotta start by catching a lot of Magnemite. So in ORAS, my best bet is heading off to New Morphle and going wild. I use the Pokemon with Magnet Pull because this increases my chances of finding a Steel type, like a Magnemite. I also used the Dex Nav where I could because I figured if I have to catch so many of these guys in one game, I might as well find a shiny, right? The Magnemite line actually has some of my favorite shinies, so it'd be nice. I didn't find a shiny. Very sad. But I got all 333 Magnemite caught, so it was time to move on to Ultra Moon. In Ultra Moon, you can find Magnemite at the Pokemon Trainer School. Its base encounter rate is only 10% though, so even with Magnet Pull, it still took me quite a while. I left Sword till last because for some reason I thought it would take the longest, but nope. I go to Challenge Beach and there's just Magnemite everywhere. I'm in my happy place. There's still no shiny. But with all 1,000 little Magnemite caught, it was time to set them loose across the globe. I still wanted to pay homage to the original Magnemite coiling, so I put one Magnemite on my Omega Ruby and Ultra Moon onto the GTS in exchange for another Magnemite. We'll check on these guys later. But before we get into the trades real quick, I gotta give a thank you to this video's sponsor, Skillshare. We've had Skillshare on the channel before. They're an online learning platform with classes on all sorts of topics to explore. From personal experience, making videos is a bit of a weird job because you have to build skills in a lot of different areas. Scripting, video editing, audio editing, graphic design, illustration. The list is pretty endless, but you can find classes for all of this and more on Skillshare. I really enjoyed Ira Marek's class on illustration and creative expression. It's a really chilled out, relaxing watch that encourages you to take creative inspiration from the everyday world around you. Something that I love about art is that you never stop learning, and with all the classes on Skillshare, you're never gonna run out of topics to get stuck into, no matter what your skill level may be. There's a whole community of members to share your work with, and the platform is totally ad-free so that you can stay focused. The first 1,000 people to click my link in the description will get a 1-month trial of Skillshare completely free, so you can start exploring your creativity today. Okay, so Wonder Trading 1,000 Pokemon is more time consuming than you think. I thought about live streaming the whole thing, twitch.tv/CandyEvie, but then I realized that if I did that, then people would intentionally try to send me good stuff, and I want the authentic experience. So I traded, and I traded, and I traded, and after several days, I finally had 1,000 Wonder Traded Pokemon. That amount, surely there must be some good stuff mixed in there, right? Well, let's find out. I'd heard tales of people finding shiny legendaries over Wonder Trade, and I just had to see for myself if it was true. And after a couple boxes of fairly average trades in my Omega Ruby, I got my first shiny. a Seadra. Well, that's pretty random. It's safe to say that if you get a shiny off Wonder Trade, then it's probably hacked. But the funny thing is, I think this Seadra is actually legit. It just seems like such an odd Pokemon to hack in. It's quite an easy shiny to find via fish chaining, and nothing about it really looks suspicious. It says it was caught 7 years ago, so I don't know what happened between then and now, but somehow it ended up with me, so thanks. But once the hacked shinies came in, they didn't stop. First was a level 100 shiny Beedrill, then came a level 100 Noctowl and a Master Ball that had been caught the previous day, a level 100 shiny Ho-Oh, simply named Friend Me. I noticed that a lot of the shinies would have custom names, usually promoting a hacked Pokemon site or some person's livestream. Excuse me, do you want to get off my turf? I've been at this self-promotion game for over 8 years. You need to step back. There's only room for one sellout here, and it's me. In total, I ended up getting 39 shinies, over half of them in Sword and Shield. Moral of the story? If you want a shiny, forget about doing methods, just head straight to Wonder Trade. Easiest shiny hunt you will ever do. They're exciting at first, but let me tell you, you get desensitized to them pretty quickly. Pokemon, oh no. Oh dear. Oh boy, thanks, I guess. Obviously you hope that someone's gonna trade you a shiny or a legendary, but I found that there were tons of regular Pokemon with their own stories. Look at this Ponyta. It's caught in a Master Ball. It's just a regular Ponyta. Why? I got a couple of Pokemon from different trainers named Wonderlock. I really hope that one of my Magnemites ended up in someone's Wonderlock. I hope someone had to play through their entire game with this walking advertisement of a Pokemon. That would bring me great joy. Lots of the Pokemon I got were nicknamed, and it definitely endears them to you more. Nicknames can tell you a lot about the character of the person that named them too. For example, Isaac here really wants people to know that he hates Gen 8. I'll show you some of my personal favourites. We've got Rickroll the Roly-Poly, the Purloin, Joe Mama the Rookie D, two completely separate SpongeBob nicknames, an Eevee named Fail6, and who could forget, a Magikarp named, I even got a few names that would get me demonetized. Some of the nicknames are in a different language, so you have to translate to get a surprise. This Gramble's name was in all caps and it intrigued me. Let's translate it from French. Most people just go out and catch low-level Pokemon and stick them up for trade, but I was confused because some of the Pokemon I was getting had history. They'd clearly been someone's team member with league ribbons and everything. A level 100 Swallow named Wesley. Why do I have this? We finally managed to beat the league. I'm so proud of you guys. But all good things must come to an end. You gotta go. See ya! Out of 1,000 Pokemon, I got a single Vivillon named Weewoo, and I was pretty happy about it. Vivillon is one of my favorite Kalos Pokemon because its wing pattern actually differs depending on where your 3DS is located. I was happy until I realized the one I got, the garden pattern, just happened to be the same one that you can already find in the UK. I actually ended up getting 9 of my Magnemites bounced back at me. Don't know why anyone would do that. Who wouldn't want a random Magnemite from world-famous Pokemon YouTuber CandyEvie? The ones I got back were mostly from the 3DS games. I'm guessing because there must be fewer people trading on them. On my sword, I got one of them back after 2 trades, and then nothing for 11 boxes. Sometimes I get matched up with the same person I just traded with, but sometimes I get one of my Magnemites back from a completely different person. So it was really fun to see them circulate. My plan was coming to fruition. It wasn't long before the messages started coming in, asking me why they got a Magnemite with my name on it. Maybe someone watching this video right now has one. Who knows? There are only 991 of these guys out there, so treasure it if you have one. Something that I really like about Wonder Trades in Gen 6 and 7 is that when you get matched up with another player, it tells you their location. All I did was trade you a Wingull, leave me alone, I'm gonna call the police. Okay, not that exact of a location, but I always found it really cool. I remember in Gen 4 they used to give you a globe to look at, but there isn't one for the 3DS games, so I just kept note of all the places myself. Here's some fun trivia for you. Out of 664 Wonder Trades across both games, I managed to get 38 out of 50 US states. I was hoping for a clean 50-state run, but as always, you Americans disappoint me. I can't get a single person from Oklahoma, which has over 3 million people, but I can get someone from Anguilla or the Cayman Islands. Why? But now it's time to take a look at some numbers. It's my favorite bit. Obviously, I can't go over every single Pokemon I was traded, but I'll give you a decent idea of what's out there. So, by quite a bit, the most common set of Pokemon is obviously Kanto. I got 275 Kanto Pokemon, which is 1 in every 3.6 trades, which, considering you've got 8 generations, is a fair bit unbalanced. Next is Hoenn with 223 Pokemon, or at a rate of every 1 in 4.5 trades. Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar actually have pretty similar amounts, ranging from 85 to 98 Pokemon traded, or between 1 in every 10.2 to 11.8 trades. Then we go a bit further down with Johto having 65 traded Pokemon, with a rate of 1 in every 15.1 trades being a Johto Pokemon. And last by quite a long way is Sinnoh with only 47 trades, or at a rate of 1 in every 21.2 trades. I guess Diamond and Pearl remakes really are coming at the right time. It's funny though, since the actual Pokemon you get are random, higher rates don't necessarily translate to more dex entries. I got the most Pokemon traded from the Kanto dex, but in terms of actual dex entries, Hoenn was the highest at a whopping 50% of the entire dex. Kanto was close with 47% of the dex. Again, Universe and Galar all had similar rates at between 36% to 40%. And then way down at the bottom is Sinnoh with just 26%. So overall, across all of my games, I managed to get 40% of the Pokedex completed in 1000 trades, which I think is pretty impressive. I'm not going for the full 100% though, I'ma leave that to Absolplucks. You should check out his video by the way, it's really good. So what would you think the most commonly wonder traded Pokemon are? Well, I'll show ya. So let's have a look at the top 3 for each region. For Kanto, we've got Magikarp with 32 trades, Eevee at 19, and Charmander with 14. Johto's top 3 are Smeargle with 6, Wobbuffet with 5, and Hoot Hoot has 4. Hoenn's top 3. First is a tie with Zigzagoon and Wingull at 20 trades each, Wurmple at 16, and Ralts at 15. Sinnoh's a Riolu at 7, Gibble at 5, and our good pal Bidoof at 4. Univers is a mess because I didn't get a lot of Unova Pokemon, but first is a 4-way tie between Pidove, Tympole, Zorua, and Axew at 4 trades each. Next is Lillipup and Amoonguss, specifically Shiny Amoonguss, each getting 3 trades. Then a massive tie for third with Pansage, Pampor, Tranquil, Gigalith, Drillbur, Ordino, Darumaka, Crustle, Frillish, Cubchoo, and Jordagon all getting 2 trades. Kalos is a Bunnelby and Fletchling at 12 trades each, Scatterbug has 6, and then a 3-way tie between Froakie, Honedge, and Carbink at 5 trades. Alola's top 3 are Pikipek, Yungoos, and Cutiefly, all with 8 trades, Gumshoes and Grubbin at 6, and then Listen and Mudbray at 5 trades. And then finally, Galar's top Pokemon are Scorbunny at 12, Rookidee at 11, and Squirvet at 9. So our top 3 wonder traded Pokemon overall are Eevee with 19 trades, joint second place are Zigzagoon and Wingull with 20 trades, and the king of wonder trade is Magikarp with 32 trades. That's more than 3% of all total trades. I spend an obscene amount of time just trying to get away from Magikarp, and yet it still finds its way back to me. Obviously these numbers are across 3 generations of wonder trades, so they're far from perfect, but I still find this stuff mad interesting. It might not sound it, but 1000 trades is an incredibly small sample size for this kind of thing, so I'd love to know what the real numbers are like. They used to have stats on the old GTS site, but that's long dead by now. So with all of my wonder trades completed, there was just one thing left for me to do. You may recall that earlier in the video I left a couple of Magnemites on the GTS just to pay homage to the original Magnemite coiling. I was actually pretty surprised to see that they both got traded within a day. I don't know if people have got the same idea as me or if they just want to trade Magnemites for some reason, but hey, let's take a look! I go on Ultra Moon and sure enough, waiting for me is a pretty solid Magnemite. Mission accomplished! Let's take a look on Omega Ruby. Yo, what? What the heck? Why? This is very clearly hacked, so it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but I'll take it, thank you. I spend hours and hours looking for one of these myself just to get one over the GTS. Really? It seems rather fitting that I didn't have to shiny hunt or even wonder trade to find the Pokemon I was looking for all along. Hey, thanks for watching the video. As always, I'm streaming on Twitch right now if you want to come say hi. I also have some new stickers in my merch store if you want to check those out. I think they came out really cool, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.